I hope everyone's having a good day. I wanted to speak about something that has troubled me in recent times. Um, there has been a repeated pattern I've noticed with people in the context of my own life and the ones around me who, in their view or in the view of others, do things for that person or various people and feel a certain level of not not level but rather a lack of appreciation for the things that they've done. But just in general, I've noticed that where you'll see people, and hello O'Donohue, and this is a good example. Now imagine if the three that are currently watching this, the viewers, were to all post comments and reveal to me who they are. And I hope you're enjoying your Super Bowl party. And I were to ignore or otherwise completely pretend I didn't see your message at all. I've tried to make it a consistency to where when I start these things, I'm going to say, hey, this person is saying this person is saying that. And it's designed for two purposes. One, to engage with whoever, chooses to tune in or watch, and to also express the narrative review that I actually appreciate the input of the person that's also there. Um, and this has been one of the reasons why I've kind of taken more of a, I don't want to say less forgiving tone when it comes to just who I interact with, but it, I've had interactions where it gets to a point of, oh, I'll send you a message and you don't respond for 2, 3, 4 days. Or so another one you don't respond, and I don't ever try to contact you again. Um, and it's not to say that the person isn't worth trying to speak with, but all correspondence and communications have to be a two-way street. If I'm putting in the effort to talk to someone, this goes for just any type of interaction, to go and do something with that person. If I'm trying to actively get us to have some interaction and you're not at least reaching your arm back, what's the point? Um, and we'll definitely check out O'Donoghue's content later on. But I was thinking about, um, my many different friendships and people I've spoken with for long periods of time. And I actually had this one individual I was talking with, this acquaintance who he was somewhat surprised that I didn't try to contact him after one of our more recent uh, phone conversations. And I explained to him, you have this tone about you wanted to keep a promise, but during this interaction, you appeared, very disheveled or frustrated with just even having to speak. And as I explained to him, because I come sometimes will compare and contrast people to my best friend, who he gained the misconception of as being someone that would just agree to everything, and I told him it has nothing to do with that. We have disagreements just as well as anyone else. The difference is that there's never a feeling by him that your presence, or at least I never get the feeling that my presence is not something he enjoys. Now, obviously, we don't speak every day or interact, with ridiculously great frequency, but in the times where you're around that person, you feel as if you're actually wanted, and that's something that I feel people don't try to do that much nowadays, and that's why I think a lot of interactions tend to fizzle out. Um, I think we're more likely to criticize or condemn something or focus on the negativity of that person or thing rather than say, I appreciate this, I am grateful for that. And ironically enough, that's, many of the people who I would accuse of doing this, or who know they do this at times, will celebrate Thanksgiving with great readiness to chow down and have some food. And in answering O'Donoghue's question, it's about people of the contemporary era both being underappreciated and met with more negativity toward whatever positive action they may take. If I, to give you an example of Donahue, if I decide that if we drive past each other and I choose to come out and fix your tire that just went flat, um, and you just drive off without saying anything, at least thank you, I would think that's a lack of appreciation. And I've generally tried to avoid um, doing things of that nature. It doesn't mean the person's evil. It just shows that they're not into this idea of, hey, well, let me try and show you that you actually mean something to me. I've actually kind of started to get on some individuals' nerves for saying, I appreciate this call, I appreciated, this message or this back and forth. Um, I think it's part of the reason I just really don't tolerate many of these failed interactions that much. Where, you know, even if you respond back, if you start showing that tone of just uh, annoyed with me or whatever, that continued theme of, hey, why are you calling me? You stop doing this, then I'll just say forget about it. Yeah, VVS. I even said the closest I will ever get any of these just people of either gender to actually know what they're missing is to just disappear, and that's usually when you get the thanks that you were so denied while you were at an active presence. So I'd like those who have tuned in, as well as those that are subscribed, um, to know that I appreciate their activity or just being here, in the sense of whether they check the stuff out or have boosted my supposed number. I'm thankful for that. Some of the employees at CVS told me that a lot of their customers were very rude to them. Yeah, and they have to go by that doctrine of the customer always being right. Um, so it just all adds up. That people will think they're in the right